Welcome to Sib Spot. Today's Reddit stories are from Am I the A-Hole? Our next story is by Novel Box 3156. I'm a 15 male. My parents gave my sister, 16 female, brother, 13 male, and me nature names, and more specifically, water nature names. My sister is Ocean, I'm Cove, and my brother is River. They wanted our names to have a theme without being matchy with the same initial, so we got our names. The story was told to us when we were little, and my parents were proud of the names they gave us. Back when we were all stuck at home, my parents started to express regret about their choices for us. They actually told us over dinner one night that they wished they had given us better names and apologized for making us live with the names we were given. A few months after that apology, my mom and dad told us they wanted us to be Elizabeth, sister, James, me, and Michael, brother. They said that since we were kids and weren't in college yet, and that nobody had their license at this point, it would be the best time to do it. All three of us said we didn't want to change our first names. My dad looked into whether they could do it when we said no, and all answers he got pointed to a very strong no. But it was also unusual to change your older kids' first names, so they went ahead and tried anyway. But once we were asked if we wanted different names, they were told no. My parents brought it up a lot to us afterwards. My brother asked why they wanted to name him Michael, and he said the name was crappy. They told him Michael was a timeless name that would age well and gave him some nickname choices. He said he hated it. So they asked if he would consider Charles instead, which he said was an even bigger no. Our parents focused really hard on him for a while because he had asked the question about the name, so they figured he was the most open. So far, none of us have agreed to the name change. I told my parents that I know they regret the names, but we're all used to and like our names and don't want to go for more boring and common names. My parents argued that in the future we will regret it, and we'd have to pay for it ourselves when we're adults, and we realize having weird names does not age well. I asked why they can't let us get there if we ever do. They said that we should be thinking more of our futures, and they accused me of having a really bad attitude because I said James was as bad to me as Cove is to them now. They told me to look online, and I did, and saw a lot of hate for our names. But I told them it still didn't change my mind. My parents said that we should respect them enough as parents to allow this, and that we're all being disrespectful. Am I the a-hole? What's in a name? A rose by any other name would smell as sweet. There is, unfortunately, a large amount of people that have aversion to unique names. But that's how names become names. They get used more and more and more. And if it's an uncommon name, that just means that it's suddenly become a name. I actually really like the name Cove. What do you guys think about the names? River's actually not that uncommon a name. There's River Phoenix, Joaquin Phoenix's brother. I think there's a lot of people that are named Ocean as well. Cove is not one I've heard before, but it's a nice name. At least I think so. Our next story is written by a throwaway account because their name is Am I the A-Hole? Give Up Couch. Am I the a-hole for bringing a friend home and letting her sleep on the couch when my mom was over and supposed to sleep on the couch? I'm a 30 female and I started college last year. During my second semester, I met Phoebe, who's 19. We were taking 2 classes together and we clicked immediately. We have a lot of the same interests and she's just such a kind and smart girl. Phoebe was diagnosed with cancer over the summer. She spent a few months in the hospital and now goes for outpatient chemo every couple weeks. On Thursday, Phoebe called me and said her grandpa was supposed to drive her to chemo but never showed up and asked if I could take her. After her chemo, she fell asleep in the car. I decided to bring her to my apartment to let her rest because she is one of 6 kids at home and her house is loud, not a good place for recovering from chemo. When we got to my apartment, I woke her up, brought her to the couch, and brought her some blankets. She was very appreciative of letting me stay at her apartment. The thing is, my mom is staying with us and she's supposed to be sleeping on the couch. It totally slipped my mind when I brought Phoebe home. My mom got back and asked why Phoebe was here when she saw her sleeping on the couch. I explained the situation and she said it was rude of me to give up the couch without asking her. I called my husband, explained the situation, and he picked up an air mattress and extra blankets for my mom, but she's still mad that I gave the couch away for the night. I took Phoebe home Friday afternoon. My husband said he gets why I did this, but he gets why she's upset. Am I the a-hole for giving my friend the couch when my mom was staying with us? I don't think you're the a-hole in this because it sounds like you forgot. Like, it's a pretty big thing to forget that your mom's staying with you, but maybe she stays there a lot, and so it just kind of seems normal. I guess it depends on how normalized it is. Like, if my mom came to visit me, I would absolutely not forget. It wouldn't slip my mind, no matter what was going on in my life, because my parents and I don't see each other as frequently as we'd like to. But if she was, like, there once a month, you might forget. So I think it's forgivable. It's also silly of her to get mad over you trying to take care of a cancer patient and giving her the couch. She comes home, she's tired, you forget your mom's staying, you put her on the couch, give her some blankets, and let her sleep. Her getting mad over that and giving you attitude is kind of childish in my opinion. So no, I don't think you're the a-hole in this situation. A lot of people surprisingly said in the comments that you were the a-hole because she gets the couch and you neglected to remember that she was there. I don't agree with what they say at all. They say flat out that you're the a-hole. And you guys literally went out and bought an air mattress and some other blankets, and she's still mad about it. It's just, she doesn't own the couch. She may be sleeping on it, but she doesn't own the couch. You do. I think this is just an extenuating circumstance. Edit, I was told to add to this post, but Phoebe's family couldn't care less that she's sick. They didn't visit her in the hospital, they don't take her to appointments unless they're not working, they don't have plans, and they feel like going, and they don't make her siblings let her rest. She asked her mom if she was taking her to get a procedure done, and her mom told her they can't put their lives on hold just because she's sick again. This part wasn't in the comment, but she shares a room with her 13-year-old sister, and her sister constantly has friends over and they hang out in her room. Phoebe has come over so she could take a nap on the couch before because she can't rest at home. Our next story is by Environmental Ad 8505. Am I the a-hole for banning a service animal from the store? I'm a 27 female and I work at a grocery store. For privacy reasons, I'm not listing which one. On this particular day, we were quite busy, so instead of monitoring the floor, I hopped on a register. A woman jumped in line, and she had a small Pomeranian and a red service vest sitting in her cart next to her. All right, no big deal. I'll just make sure to sanitize the cart after she leaves. I'm ringing up groceries, and I can hear the dog lowly growling at something. It's me. I ignore it and continued scanning. Once finished, she was having issues with her gift card, so I needed to come around the counter to assist. Once I got near the dog, it started barking at me. I stepped back and told her she needed to calm her dog down while I manually fixed the issue on the other side of the computer. She informed me that her dog can be nervous and doesn't like new people. Once I finish her transaction, I go to hand her the receipt and the dog jumps halfway out of the cart and tried to bite me. I drop her card and receipt on the table and told her that she needed to pack up her items and leave. And for future reference, her dog wouldn't be allowed back into the store without properly behaving. She started yelling at me, telling me that her dog was a service dog and was allowed to be anywhere she was. She wanted my manager, and I got my superior to come over. At this point, the dog is shaking and growling, and she's shuffling to put her groceries in a bag. She tells the manager I am discriminating against her and banned her dog. I explained the dog has been growling and barking at me and tried to bite me. The manager had been hearing barking echoing through the store and knew it was this dog. She was told that her dog wouldn't be allowed back unless she could control it from trying to bite employees. Further thoughts. I have no idea if this dog was a service animal and didn't think to ask what tasks it was trained for. However, no service dog should be trying to bite people and bark at employees due to safety. She didn't even try to calm her dog down when it was barking. Am I the a-hole for banning a woman's service dog from the store? Absolutely not. And she's insane for thinking that her dog doing this is acceptable behavior. Service dogs are some of the best trained, well-behaved animals ever. She probably bought this little service jacket and put it on her dog just so she could bring it anywhere she wanted. Because it's easier to bring it in the store than leave it at home. Down in the comments, there's a little bit of light shed from people who know about service animals. By Material Profit 5923, service animals go through extensive training to handle public situations. This was not a trained service animal, not the a-hole. And underneath that, by Specific Culture 591. Also in the US, service animals cannot sit in carts as per the ADA. So yeah, this woman bought a little jacket for her dog that says service animal on the side and brought it into the store. And yeah, she should be barred from entering and the dog should not come in the store again until it's trained. And who has a Pomeranian as a service dog? I generally don't know any Pomeranians that are okay being around other people. They're very nervous dogs. Our last story today is by Macadamia. Am I the a-hole for refusing to pay for dental fees after a kid broke his teeth on a macadamia nut? My friend, who's 39 female, June, brought her 8-year-old son Stephen over to my house today. June and I were just chatting over a cup of tea when there was a scream from the kitchen and we rushed to find that Stephen had tried to eat a whole macadamia nut with shell. For context, the nut is a white nut surrounded by the hardest and most smooth chocolate-looking shell you've ever seen. He'd obviously thought it was a chocolate and tried to eat it from a closed Tupperware container on the kitchen island. I was going to crack them with a hammer later. My friend first admonished Stephen for eating something obviously not meant for him and took him to the emergency dental, where she later learned he has cracked one of his molars and it was apparently quite bad. Apparently, as it's still his first set of teeth, they will just be pulled out, but she wants me to pay for at least half as it was my macadamia and it was on the kitchen island and accessible. Am I the a-hole? She is 100% liable for this. A macadamia nut inside a closed container on a counter and he breaks into it and tries to eat it. She is responsible for watching her kid, even while at your house. And if she's not aware where he's going and what destruction he's doing to his teeth, she can pay for the consequences. Our stories for today have come to a close. Until we meet again, have a wonderful day.